Don't chase your bliss life, just live it. Live it and love it. Yeah, it's almost my birthday. It's Forest Friday in the morning. I'm in the forest camping. Ooh, can't wait to show you where I'm at. It's somewhere I've been before, but I love it so much I came back again. Ta-da! My most favorite place. Well, one of my many most favorite places, but yes! Talk about Forest Friday, Big Trees, Calaveras to Yosemite National Forest. What an epic 50th birthday weekend this is. Now, on to the park. Welcome to my channel, This Way to Bliss, where I hike and explore and car camp in my hybrid SUV and heal through nature, one hop, skip, and step at a time. Hi. I'm Candace Shea Frazier. This is my story of growing through grief instead of giving up, resetting my nervous system, and breaking my addiction to chaos and confusion. Out here, I found the strength to keep going and the first sparks of balance, bliss, freedom, and fun after the fallout of divorce, loss, betrayal, and abandonment. I have so many adventures to share, so make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It really helps. It's almost my birthday, and you know what that means. I'm camping! Woo! Got my little look, set my movie up. My pups all back in the back chilling. Got my handy dandy little flashlight and various other handy dandy little things to keep me safe and warm and happy. Anyway, goal is to hit Yosemite tomorrow. I'm not sure what time I'm waking up, but yay, it's adventure time. And it's Forest Friday. I'm waking up in the forest. How awesome is that? Yeah, it's almost my birthday. It's Forest Friday in the morning. I'm in the forest camping. Ooh, can't wait to show you where I'm at. It's somewhere I've been before, but I love it so much I came back again, and I'm gonna aim for Yosemite in the morning. Yeah, anyway, don't chase your bliss life, just live it and love it.
Sometimes the call to transformation doesn't arrive as a loud moment like these frogs. Sometimes it's a whisper, a tug on the heart that says, go. On the eve of my 50th birthday, I followed that whisper into the forest. I left home this Thursday night in 2022 and drove to Calaveras Big Trees so I could wake up in nature for Forest Friday. No plan, no fixed itinerary, just intuition and a willingness to see where the path would lead.
Good morning, sunshines. It's the day before my birthday, and it's Forest Friday. Look where I woke up at. In the forest. It's time to go wake up the pup, make some coffee, feed her, feed me, and go to Yosemite.
I'm not quite sure what it is about this area, but the lens flares are pure rainbows. It's so pretty. What do you think? Is it simply a lens flare or is it a high vibe location? For years, I chased love, chased safety, chased stability, unknowing that I was doing it because I was running from my core wounds and my conditioned programming. On this trip, I wanted something different. I wanted presence. I wanted to mother myself the way I've mothered everyone else. I didn't know it then, but this was the beginning of shifting from the hero's journey, that outward search, into the heroine's journey, the inward return to emotional wholeness. And if you've never been to Calaveras Big Trees, I highly suggest putting on your bucket list for an adventure because it's amazing. And if you want to see more of Calaveras Big Trees, you can watch the video linked above from the last trip. In episode 16, I spent 2 days here doing nothing but just letting the forest rewire me and exploring the campgrounds and the redwood groves with childlike wonder. This is where I truly met myself again, sober, soft, and sovereign. Don't mind my dog sniffing the camera. But anyway, back to the story. This last episode, I talked about the secret, the true secret I discovered, that self-love is remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. And in this video, we'll go a little more into some of those core wounds and conditioned selves. And I invite you to go check out episode 16, because I go into signs that you're healing from narcissistic abuse. And I want to remind you, healing from this isn't about them. It's about learning to finally choose yourself. And in these woods, this is where I choose me, my self-love, self-care, and creating sovereignty.
Troll check. Oh, we're good.
It is so amazing here. I can't even describe in words what I'm feeling, but I'm in bliss.
Call this a rainbow bridge. Let's go over it. What's on the other side? Ooh. More beauty. It's like a group picnic area or something. I think this is the day picnicking, but wowza. Holy sequoia. And then this one on the ground. Yeah, Calaveras Big Trees is an appropriate name for this place.
I think the tree needs a hug. Let's go hug it.
I just told Mr. Tree, I love you and thank you for being a tree. Isn't he amazing? A beaver did it. He dammed it up.
A little bit of solar charging while I wait for my breakfast.
You having fun? No. Is it too cold for you? You want the beach? You want to go see the beach? Or you want to go to Yosemite? Yosemite? I don't know, y'all. What you think? Besides, it's actually super cute. Eating breakfast, coffee, and about to bounce.
Nature is my blissful peace. Breakfast done and packed up. Now we're heading to Yosemite. It's 2 hours away, and my only plan is to go to Yosemite. I don't have a campsite reserved, but I am trusting wherever I end up is exactly where I need to be. And that drive is the not so fun part of getting to Yosemite. So pack some snacks and some patience, because you're going to need it. I want you to arrive safe and in one piece, and enjoy the views along the way, because there are a lot of them to stop and visit. But also take note, there's something mystical about the drive into Yosemite. The road is long, winding, and quiet, the perfect place for the mind to finally speak truth. Driving deeper into the mountains, it dawned on me that this wasn't just a birthday trip. This was the beginning of my hero's journey. You see, for most of my life, I lived in the ordinary world, the familiar patterns, the survival mode routines, the feeling of being responsible for everyone else's needs before my own. But there was always a restlessness inside of me, a knowing that there was more to my life than repeating old cycles and shrinking myself to avoid disappointing others. that people pleaser wound. That awareness paralleled my journey. As I reached the gate and entered the valley, it was like stepping into another world. This trip was my disruption. I was answering the call to my own adventure. And not because something dramatic happened, but because I finally said yes to myself.
My most favorite place, well, one of my many most favorite places, but yes! Talk about Forest Friday, Big Trees, Calaveras to Yosemite National Forest. What an epic 50th birthday weekend this is. Now, on to the park.
Eek, I'm here. By saying yes to time alone, I discovered my bliss. By saying yes to following my intuition, I found clarity. By saying yes to letting nature mentor me back into my truth, I found calm, confidence, and courage. And a bunch of majestic mountains and nature. Yosemite Half Dome. Wow. I don't think I'll ever get tired of this amazing, awesome view. As I entered the tunnel into Yosemite, I felt this shift. You know, it's that moment in every hero's journey when you leave the known world and enter a place that reflects your inner landscape. And I encourage you, even if you can't see the light at the end of your tunnel or know what it's going to look like, just keep taking one small step each day and showing up for yourself with self-love and self-care. On the other side of the tunnel, that awareness of the towering cliffs, the wide open meadows, the waterfalls roaring with life, it all mirrored the same journey within me. Vast, powerful, ancient, and awakening. And as I drove deeper into the valley, the more my core wounds began to surface. Abandonment, not enoughness, too muchness, too intenseness, too emotional. Every step forward in healing invites those old patterns to reappear, not to punish us, but to offer us an opportunity to alchemize them. You see, my greatest ally on this journey wasn't another person. It was me. The self-mothering, the self-love, the presence I'd always given others, but rarely allowed myself to receive. So now you can see why driving into that tunnel felt symbolic, like entering the innermost cave of my own psyche, the place where the deepest fears and insecurities live. What if I'm choosing myself means losing others? What if I'm abandoned again? What if people think I don't care? What if I'm too much? Or what if I'm not enough? But you see, the only way to heal those wounds is to walk straight through them. In my darkest hour, I realized my ordeal wasn't a single moment. It was the lifelong pattern of waiting to be chosen, waiting to be celebrated, waiting to be loved the way I loved others, only to feel overlooked, disappointment, or forgotten. And here I was, choosing to spend my birthday alone in my favorite place, not because no one cared, but because I finally realized that I needed to care about myself first, and I couldn't keep abandoning myself to avoid being abandoned by others. And the breakthrough came. I don't need rescuing. I am my own safety, my own grounding, and my own love. And when I mother myself, I'm no longer living from fear. I'm living from presence. That was the treasure, not a physical thing, but a shift in my identity, my beliefs. And the moment I realized that, I began stepping into a new version of myself from that simple mindset shift. So if I can offer some reflections here, whenever you feel yourself brushed up against those old fears again, whether it's the fear of disappointing others, the fear of not being prioritized, or the fear that choosing yourself means losing others, instead of collapsing into those wounds, instead breathe, honor your inner child, and remember, you celebrate you. You fill your own cup. You choose yourself. And that is your resurrection. And the moment your old self will dissolve and a new self will take their place. So I had been looking for a campsite, but it turns out every single one was taken. And instead of seeing that as a setback, I took it as direction, as guidance, and a reminder that sometimes the destination isn't the point, but the journey is. And in this moment, it was like I was journeying into another world. I had El Capitan towering on one side, Bridalveil Falls rushing down the mountain on the other, and Half Dome waiting in the distance. Pure bliss and joy overrode my fear and disappointment nervous system. In this moment, all of those worries and ruminations that I had before the trip melted away, and I was in awe as I approached deeper into the valley and realized that I was doing it. I was facing my fears and doing it anyway. I was taking my first solo trip to Yosemite National Park without anyone but me, myself, and well, my pup. And nothing bad happened to me. I found more bliss and more excitement and more joy than I had on any trip prior in that moment. And it was because I was self-sourced, self-loving, self-caring, and self-sovereign. Things that I once thought were not possible for me. You see, part of my story is that as a young child, I had emotionally immature parents that were wounded as well and didn't have the skills to connect with me, to emotionally attune to me, and provide an environment that I felt safe in. I instead was dealt doses of abandonment, betrayal, invalidation, neglect, shame, feeling invalidated, isolated, and powerless was the story of my early childhood years. So my programming and conditioning was 100% a trauma response. And from those attachment wounds, I would move through my adult life, repeating those same cycles and attracting the same emotionally unavailable partners to reopen that wound. But I didn't know it then. I do now. And as I walked through this valley and watching the waterfall in the distance, it was as if all of this awareness was coming forth and simultaneously being transmuted. What an epic experience. Now, since there was no campsites available, I wanted to just take a drive through the valley with you so you could see what that looks like. We'll come back tomorrow and go on a hike. I would say if you have someone with you, you can take turns driving so you can both enjoy the epic views. But if you're by yourself, set yourself up a camera of some sort so you can go back and watch it later. Or rent a bike or a scooter and take a little adventure through the park that way. Okay, now back to helping you understand these core wounds. So, one of the things that I've learned along the journey is core wounds are deep emotional wounds that originate from past experiences of trauma or neglect. Like I said, adverse childhood experiences. There's 10 of them. You can go look it up. Conditioned selves, what they call the ego committee, is the psychological constructs that develop in response to those core wounds, like, for instance, a wounded inner child or a bruised ego. So the key here is you have to understand that this is all happening for you so you can heal. And the first step in healing is awareness of what it is. So you have to name the wound. Is it abandonment, betrayal, injustice, invalidation, isolation, neglect, powerlessness, or shame? Then accept it without judgment or resistance. This is key. So you can move through it easily. I like art, breath work, tapping, sound therapy, movement. Nature is my favorite. Next, ask that wound, what do you need to alchemize the owl? And use your love and presence to do so. Next, that will help you shift the narrative. Speak your truth and reframe your story. Because without that awareness, you're going to keep telling the story of the victim. Next, you want to tether back into your body. Now is wow. I am safe. I am loved. Everything is happening for me. That allows you to expand into a higher perspective and a new belief so you can elevate your energy to match your healed state. This reset will help you move from fear to freedom without bypassing, numbing, or spiritualizing your trauma. And finally move out of intellectualizing what happened and learn how to embody peace, presence, and pleasure in your own beingness. If you can adopt the mindset of curiosity over criticism and face the fear, confront those limiting beliefs, and the emotional spinouts, and seeing the mirror of your relationships as a self-reflection so that you can further refine and define who am I, where am I abandoning myself, and what can I do to stop doing that. The key here is to connect with your inner compass. So as you can see, we've made it to the parking lot where the half dome is, and you can see the beautiful landscape all around us. But we have to go find a campsite. Someday I'll come back and camp in Yosemite, and my bucket list is to come spend a whole week to maybe even a month here just exploring everything, because this is a massive park and there are so many fun things to do. Aye, aye, Capitan, off to the tunnels we go. But I'm curious, what's been your favorite part of this hero's journey with me so far? Drop it in the comments. On my way back up, I pulled off the road at the South Fork of the Tuolumne River. The sound of moving water, the way the light dances through the trees, it mirrors what healing feels like. It's not forced, it doesn't rush, it flows at exactly the pace nature allows. This was the moment I realized something important. We don't find peace by trying to get somewhere. We find it by returning to ourselves. Enjoy this next little clip immersed in the Nature's Healing Symphony ASMR. Y'all, the irony of the campground, lost claim campground, to be lost, to have no claim, that used to terrify me, but now it felt fitting.
Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. Happy 50th birthday to me. Yahoo! Well, it's not officially my birthday until 6:34 in the morning. Oh wow, look.
And it felt fitting because I was beginning to release the life I thought I should have and make room for the life that was already waiting for me. I want to share a quick story of what happened. When I went up to pay for the campsite fees, some random guy in a white van drove up and was asking questions with a toothpick in his mouth and wanted to know if he could borrow some of my firewood. And I kept telling him, dude, you go up the road a little ways, you can buy firewood there. And it just, the hair was up on the back of my neck. So I'm glad that I listened to my intuition and didn't allow them into my campsite space, but it definitely had me on high alert. It's not a trend of mine to think that someone is up to no good, but I also knew to trust my instinct.
Home sweet home for the night.
But it was also a pop quiz from the universe of, are you going to fawn in this response, or are you going to own your truth and set healthy boundaries? And I did. And I'm so glad I did. Let's play a game. Spot the heart tree. Full moon's over my hammy. No, I'm just kidding. That night, after enjoying the love and the warmth of the fire and stargazing, I slept in my car wrapped in the comfort of pine trees, preparing to spend my birthday exactly as I wanted, with myself.
It's my birthday, y'all. And I don't know if I can show you where I'm at. No, it's not gonna let me. I'm gonna do it this way. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Woke up in the forest. Outside Yosemite. Like 30 minutes outside Yosemite. So I need to get up, get my butt there before the crowds, because there was way too many people by the time I got there yesterday. Anyway, woo, here's to 50. And we are back, and there's people sitting on the sign.
Waking up to nature's healing symphony instead of the noise, obligations, and others needing things from me, just me in the forest, was pure bliss. As I drove into Yosemite, into the tunnel again, I realized this was definitely my golden era. And I'm so here for it. I felt an even greater shift. You see, for the first time in a long time, I realized, yeah, I'm not chasing anything. I am not waiting to be chosen. I'm definitely not seeking validation. I've become the source of my own love.
This is Valley View. It's Cascade Falls. Wow. Happy birthday to me. What an amazing day it's gonna be. That is Bridalveil Falls.
And look, it's Cascade Falls, my first waterfall of my new decade.
Okay, Lower Cascade Falls. This is the one I was just taking a picture of. But wait for it. Walk with me. It's an opportunity I've never had before. There's like nobody out here, which is why you come to this park early. Hint, tip. Come early because it gets crowded, or come in the off season. Wow. Oh, but wait for it. Wait for it. Dun, 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 dun. I was walking on a bridge and I saw some waterfalls and I went, oh my gosh, what is that? Dun, 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 dun. Cascade Falls, my friends. Yosemite National Park. Sorry for the bumpy, but I was running across the road. Snap, crackle, pop.
That is Lower Yosemite Falls, where we're going to go on a little hike to here momentarily. As I began hiking over to the falls, every step reflected on the work that brought me here. The emotional alchemy, the nervous system regulation, the courage it takes to face truths we spend years avoiding. You see, healing isn't about bypassing, numbing, or pretending our trauma didn't shape us. It's about meeting ourselves with honesty and compassion. My process, which I now call the Namaste Reset, which I shared with you earlier, is really simple. Name what hurts, accept it without judging yourself. Move it through the body with breath, movement, or art in nature. Ask what wound needs to feel safe. Shift the story and expand into the new truth. This is how we move from fear to freedom, from survival mode to self-love, and thrive. This is how emotional alchemy begins.
This place makes me so happy. Like, what? Pop up. Getting closer. Dun 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 dun. Shall we read? Pause to read. So I'm not gonna sit on here very long. Never knew this place flooded, but makes sense. Wow. To the falls, shall we?
Before you come. No, we're just passing. We're just coming down the hill. I think so, yeah.
It's not pink and black wedding.
Yeah. Well, you got part of the drive to the girl would have appreciated his name. Sandy. Maybe he's already.
Pardon me? That was an awesome waterfall, don't y'all agree? Like, oh my goodness, that thing was rushing. That was such a fun hike, but it's time to head home to rest, integrate, and prepare to celebrate with loved ones tomorrow. But you know what? Honestly, I feel like the celebration has already happened. This journey, the time spent alone in nature, was the part of the hero's journey where the hero discovers the treasure. And guess what? The treasure was me, choosing myself, trusting myself, and loving myself. You see, turning 50 didn't mark the end of something, it marked the beginning of my heroine's journey, the inward return to emotional wholeness, purpose, presence, and pleasure. If you're on your own healing path, if you're tired of being stuck in old patterns, fear, or survival mode, or if you're ready to choose yourself the way you choose everyone else, I invite you into the next step, the elixir, embodying love. A guided journey to help you regulate your nervous system, heal core wounds, and return to yourself. If you're ready to find your freedom, your flow state, and your bliss, this is the journey you're going to have to take. You're going to have to face the fears. You're going to have to let go and alchemize the ow and focus on what is wow. And for me, using nature's healing symphony helped to find a sense of groundedness and really tap into a deeper well of gratitude and glowing. As I began to leave Yosemite, the long line of cars waiting to get in confirmed my intuition to get here early, because I would have missed out on all of that had I not listened to my intuition. As I exited Yosemite National Park, the line coming in was very long. You'll see it's about 2 minutes before we reach somewhat of the end of this line. And I want to reflect that one of the things I realized about this trip wasn't just a birthday trip. It was the return with the elixir. The moment I came back from the journey carrying something that can help others. For me, the elixir is the power of self-love, self-mothering, emotional alchemy, and nervous system liberation. We can't move from fear to freedom by bypassing, numbing, or spiritualizing our trauma. We have to lean in and love ourselves in that journey. When we move our focus from controlling our outer environment to create safety within, and instead flip it and create the safety within, the outside environment becomes less of something we need or want to control. You see, when we embody self-love and live in alignment, we are whole. We accept every part of our journey as vital, and we no longer chase love, safety, and belonging, but we show up as love, safety, and belonging in our highest self daily. And then we can share that wisdom, which is what I love doing to help others. Because I remember there wasn't a path that was visible to me, and I remember how scary that was. And so I want to bring awareness to you so you can start to alchemize your ow from wow and focus on everything that is wow right now. To shift from victim consciousness to victor consciousness, you have to build a bridge, and it's built with love. And you are the one that holds the hammer and the nail. And I celebrate you choosing to use the power of love to liberate yourself from fear and break the cycle of pain and to thrive after trauma and tragedy. The newest addition to my family, Mazzy. She will be coming home with me next month, so stay tuned because we're also going to head to Mount Whitney in Alabama Hills at the end of this month for Memorial Weekend, and another chapter in the journey from choosing self-love, freedom, and transformation. Happy birthday to all of you watching this. I appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share with your besties so y'all can traverse the next trail with me. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much.